In this video, we're going to be exploring some tools to help you let go of attachments and cultivate a deeper sense of self-love. By letting go of attachments, whether it's to people, outcomes, material things, you create space for emotional independence, where you no longer have the need to hold on so tightly to things that can only ever bring you temporary satisfaction and fleeting happiness. Instead, you will learn powerful practices to help you create that inner peace, strength, and a healthy sense of self worth that can only come from within. The first tool is self compassion. How often have you found judging, blaming, or criticizing yourself for not being good enough or brave enough to take that first step, or feeling hurt by someone's word, or reacting out of anger? How many times have you told yourself that you're not good enough, that you will not achieve something that you really want to achieve, or maybe that others are somehow better than you? Of course, we all do that from time to time, but the thing is, the more you judge, the more you blame or criticize yourself, the more disempowered you become, because what you are doing, and that's not a conscious process, you're probably not even aware of it, but you're looking at yourself through the lens of a critical parent or a teacher. You're looking at yourself the same way that others looked at you when you were a child. So maybe in your childhood, your parents did not believe in your dreams, or they didn't nurture them. Maybe it was your teacher who told you that you're just not going to amount to much, or kids at your school who were teasing you or laughing you because you did not fit in. All these moments, even though they happened years ago, they would have left a long lasting impression on how you view yourself today. And now, as an adult, it's that same child, the one that needed support, love, and recognition, acceptance, validation back then, that you are now rejecting, blaming, and criticizing. So, this child is called an inner child, and we all have one. And usually, this inner child carries limiting beliefs, traumas, programming, patterns of behavior that it adopted to protect itself against the external world without even knowing it. So, for example, if as a child, you were criticized or made felt like love needed to be earned through achievements or pleasing others, now as an adult, you may struggle with self worth, which can manifest as people pleasing, staying in unhealthy relationships, or staying in relationship longer than you should, feeling unworthy of love and support. If, for example, you were compared to others, or you were told you're not good enough, you may have developed this fear of failure, which could manifest as perfectionism, procrastination, or avoiding opportunities because of self doubt. So, self criticism usually comes from unmet needs from our past. It's that voice of our inner child who wants to be seen, heard, validated, and loved. And instead of offering ourselves the compassion and care that we truly deserve, we instead have this beliefs that these critical voices somehow help us improve. But in reality, they're only holding us back, trapping us in a cycle of shame and self doubt. So the first thing we've got to do is to recognize this old voice, whether it originated from others or from within. This voice does not define your truth. This voice is a reflection of a past experiences, but it does not determine who you are today. So the more you practice self-compassion, the more you start rewriting your story. You start seeing yourself as worthy of love, of acceptance, just as you are, with all your flaws and all your imperfections. By choosing, because all it is a choice, to letting go of judgment, blame, and self-criticism, you create that space for healing, growth, and a stronger sense of self-worth. And I'm not saying, I mean, it's not about ignoring our shortcomings or mistakes, but rather accepting them without blame and shame, and seeing them as opportunities for growth rather than reasons for feeling inadequate. So, starting from today, whenever you catch yourself criticizing, blaming, feeling guilty, ask yourself, would I speak this way to a friend or to my child? Would I treat someone I love or even like this way? And then turn it back on you. Apply the same kindness and understanding to yourself. So, the second tool I'm going to share with you is finding confidence and courage in your past. So while our past carries a lot of baggage, it also holds moments of success, times when you overcame challenges that once maybe you thought were impossible. Maybe you navigated through a difficult relationship that ultimately helped you grow. Maybe it was a health challenge that made you stronger and actually healthier than before. Or perhaps it was a job loss that led you to your true purpose. So, any challenge that once seemed impossible to overcome, but you did, that's where you can go and look for strength and confidence from these moments, using them as a foundation for self love. So, let me share my personal story where I go looking for strength and courage in moments I feel doubt and uncertainty. So long, long time ago, I used to fence, fencing like with swords for South Africa. And I remember one night before the competition, I went on a bike ride with a guy I didn't know. We both had a bit to drink and we didn't wear any helmets. It was 2 in the morning, so the roads were empty. And he was just going to take me for like a little spin around the block. But that little spin nearly killed us both as he took a sharp corner and the bike skidded on a pebbles or whatever, on a gravel. So we went flying in different directions. And when I came to my senses, I saw a bike steaming in smoke and the guy unconscious. And I was like bleeding all over. So he luckily was okay. We dragged the bike back to our friend's house. I got into bath, trying to wash my blood off, and I just passed out. I don't remember rest of the night, but next morning, 8 o'clock, I was in a fencing hall, wrapped in bandages, bleeding all over the place, and I still won the competition, which actually qualified me to go to the Commonwealth Games and many other international events. And to this day, when I face doubt, uncertainty, even fear, I return to that moment that reminds me I can overcome anything, that I've been through worse, and that in the end, everything always works in my favor. So think about your own journey. If you're struggling with doubt, insecurity, people pleasing, anxiety, fear, overwhelm, reflect on the moments from your past where you faced a certain challenge, where you doubted yourself, maybe even thought it was impossible to live through it, but you still made it, and get your confidence from that moment. The next one is visualization and journaling. This is really powerful because you see, your subconscious mind doesn't really know what's real or imagined, and it controls 95% of your reality. You have the power to reprogram your subconscious minds. And one of the way to do it is through visualization. So you can just find a quiet space, maybe play relaxing music, and imagine what it would feel like to have unshakable confidence and self-worth. How would you be walking? How would you be talking? How would you be showing up? Who would you be spending your time with? What would your inner dialogue sound like? And you can just really kind of connect to that image, to that picture of you, and do this first thing in the morning or before bed, the times when your mind is most receptive. And of course, you can also practice it during the day if you're feeling that trigger of doubt, uncertainty, anxiety. If you're not a visual person, maybe you like writing, then you can do the same, but by journaling, starting with this really powerful phrase: I am so happy and grateful now that. Maybe now that I feel worthy and I feel confident, I feel powerful, whatever it is that you want to put in there. By constantly practicing this, you will start rewiring your subconscious mind to believe in this new and powerful story. And over time, your inner dialogue will naturally shift. It will replace self doubt with self acceptance. And the old belief that you must sacrifice yourself to make others happy, that love must be earned, that you need somebody outside of you to validate yourself, they will also go. They will just hold their power over you. And the last one I'm going to share with you, subliminals. Subliminal messages, they work on bypassing your logical mind, and they go straight into your subconscious mind where those deeply rooted beliefs and habits live. And as we already said, your subconscious is responsible for 95% of your daily thoughts, emotions, behavior. So reprogramming it with positive, empowering messages will create permanent changes in how you see yourself. So you can find subliminals on YouTube, on Spotify, and just go there and look for self-love, inner strength, empowerment. Choose the ones that you like and play it as much as you can. before going to bed, or while even you're sleeping, at the gym, during working hours. Unlike conscious affirmations, which the mind may fight against and resist, saying, "No, I'm not worthy," subliminal messages, they bypass your logic, they bypass that skepticism of a logical mind. That's why it helps to create new beliefs easier and faster by letting go of that self doubt and this inner critic voice that lives inside of you. You see, the journey of self love is like returning home to yourself. You can start rewriting your story. You can start reprogramming your self doubts into your empowerment. And it's not about getting it perfect, it's all about accepting yourself fully, your flaws, your imperfections, all of it, knowing that you are enough. So now you've got four powerful tools to start helping you cultivate self love. And I encourage you to choose at least one and stick to it consistently for 30 days. With consistency, you will start noticing the big changes in your emotions, in your mindset, and overall life. So have fun, choose one practice, and go implement it. I will see you in the next video.